The psychology of habit. How habits shape our lives. Your beliefs become your thoughts. Your thoughts become your words. Your words become your actions. Your actions become your habits. Your habits become your values. Your values become your destiny. Mahatma Gandhi. Habits are deeply ingrained patterns of behavior that shape nearly every aspect of our lives. Whether it's the way we start our morning, how we handle stress, or the small choices we make throughout the day, habits dictate much of what we do. Understanding the psychology of habits is essential for personal growth, as they can either propel us forward or hold us back. True life is lived when tiny changes occur. Leo Tolstoy. Dreams are lovely, but they are just dreams. Fleeting, ephemeral, pretty, but dreams do not come true just because you dream them. It's hard work that makes things happen. It's hard work that creates change. Shonda Rhimes. Forget inspiration. Habit is more dependable. Habit will sustain you whether you're inspired or not. Octavia Butler. If you believe you can change, if you make it a habit, the change becomes real. Charles Duhigg. Successful people are simply those with successful habits. Brian Tracy. Do small things with great love. Mother Teresa. It is easier to prevent bad habits than to break them. Benjamin Franklin. Our character is basically a composite of our habits. Because they are consistent, often unconscious patterns, they constantly, daily, express our character. Stephen Covey. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception, it is a prevailing attitude. Colin Powell. If you pick the right small behavior and sequence it right, then you won't have to motivate yourself to have it grow. It will just happen naturally, like a good seed planted in a good spot. B.J. Fogg. Excellence is an art won by training and habituation. Aristotle. You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. John C. Maxwell. All these quotes points to how habits shape our lives. The question is, how are habits formed? Habits form through a process that involves three stages: the cue, the routine, and the reward, a cycle often referred to as the habit loop. Cue, trigger. The habit begins with a cue, which is a trigger that tells your brain to initiate a certain behavior. It could be a specific time of day, an emotional state, or an external environment. For example, feeling stressed might trigger a habit of eating junk food, or waking up early might trigger a habit of exercising. Routine, behavior. Once the cue is activated, the routine is the behavior you perform, which can be a simple action like brushing your teeth or something more complex like following a workout regimen. Reward, outcome. The reward is the benefit you get from performing the habit. It could be the feeling of cleanliness after brushing your teeth, a sense of relaxation from eating comfort food, or the endorphin rush after exercising. This reward helps reinforce the habit, making you more likely to repeat the behavior when faced with the same cue in the future. Over time, this habit loop becomes automatic. The more frequently the cue routine reward cycle is repeated, the more ingrained the habit becomes. Eventually, your brain stops consciously participating in decision making, and the behavior becomes automatic. Why small habits matter for growth. It's easy to underestimate the power of small habits, but they play a critical role in long-term personal growth. Small, seemingly insignificant actions compound over time and create lasting change. As James Clear explains in his book Atomic Habits, small habits are like the building blocks of major achievements. If you improve just 1% each day, by the end of the year, you will be 37 times better than when you started. For example, waking up 10 minutes earlier each day to meditate can gradually increase mindfulness, emotional regulation, and productivity. Choosing a glass of water instead of soda at lunch could lead to better hydration, improved focus, and eventually better health. Reading just a few pages of a book daily may not seem like much, but over time, it can lead to significant knowledge accumulation. These small actions, though easy to dismiss, form the foundation for big life changes. How habits become permanent. To make habits stick permanently, consistency is key. Here's how. Start small. Begin with a habit so small that it's almost impossible to fail. This lowers the psychological barrier to starting. If your goal is to run every day, begin with just 5 minutes of walking. Once that becomes routine, gradually increase the intensity. Commit to repetition. Research shows that it can take anywhere from 18 to 254 days to form a new habit, with 66 days being the average. The key to permanence is repetition. Each time you perform the habit, your brain strengthens the neural pathways associated with it. Stack habits. Habit stacking is a technique where you attach a new habit to an already established one. For example, if you already brush your teeth every morning, you can attach the habit of reading one page of a book right after. This linkage makes it easier to incorporate new habits into your routine. Make the environment supportive. The environment plays a huge role in habit formation. Surround yourself with cues that support your desired habits. For instance, if you want to eat healthier, place fruits and vegetables at the front of the fridge. If you want to exercise more, leave your workout clothes by the bed each night. Track progress. Keeping track of your progress can help reinforce the behavior. Whether it's through journaling, using an app, or simply marking an X on the calendar, tracking keeps you motivated and accountable. Celebrate small wins. Celebrating each milestone reinforces the behavior by providing immediate satisfaction, which strengthens the habit loop. Each small success, no matter how trivial it seems, is progress. The mind and habit change. Changing habits is not just about willpower. It involves understanding and reshaping the mental patterns that control our behaviors. Often, bad habits are responses to deeper psychological needs or unresolved emotions. To truly change, it's important to dig into the reasons behind your habits. Are you overeating because you're stressed? Do you procrastinate because of fear of failure? By addressing the underlying issues, you can more easily replace harmful habits with positive ones. Moreover, building awareness through mindfulness helps interrupt automatic responses. When you consciously pay attention to your cues and routines, you create space for intentional change, rather than mindlessly falling into old patterns. Long affirmations for strengthening habits. I am the architect of my habits, and each small step I take strengthens my path to success. With each repetition, I reinforce the positive behaviors that lead to the life I desire. I am consistent, patient, and focused on building the habits that support my growth, health, and happiness. Every action, no matter how small, compounds into the future version of myself. I choose to act with intention and purpose. I release the habits that no longer serve me and embrace the actions that align with my highest goals. My environment supports my growth, and I create spaces that nurture my positive habits. I am in control of my actions. Every day, I become more aligned with the habits that support my well-being and success. I am patient with myself. Change takes time, but I trust the process and remain consistent on my journey. I celebrate every small win, knowing that it brings me closer to lasting transformation. Habits shape our lives. Habits are the invisible architecture of our lives. They define our daily behaviors, which ultimately determine our long-term success, health, and happiness. By understanding how habits are formed, breaking them down into small, achievable actions, and reinforcing them with repetition and positive affirmations, we can reshape our lives from the ground up. By taking control of our habits, we take control of our destiny. Whether it's improving our health, building a career, or fostering better relationships, consistent, mindful habits pave the way for meaningful, lasting change. The story of Mahatma Gandhi. How habits shaped his success. Mahatma Gandhi is one of history's most celebrated figures, known for his leadership in India's struggle for independence and his philosophy of nonviolent resistance. But beneath his extraordinary achievements lay a deep commitment to personal discipline and daily habits that helped him forge an unshakable character and guide an entire nation toward freedom. Gandhi's story is a testament to the power of habits and how they can shape not only an individual's success but the destiny of millions. Early life and the seeds of habit. Gandhi was born in 1869 in British-ruled India. Raised in a devout Hindu family, he was taught principles of nonviolence, honesty, and modest living from a young age. His early years were not marked by any extraordinary signs of greatness, nor did he show any inclination toward the leadership role he would eventually assume. However, the seeds of his future success were planted in his childhood, where he observed and internalized habits of simplicity, humility, and self-reflection. As a young man, Gandhi traveled to London to study law, where he was exposed to Western culture and ideas, yet remained deeply influenced by his own cultural and religious upbringing. It was here that he began to form the habits that would define his life. Despite being in a foreign land, Gandhi adhered to his vegetarian diet, avoided alcohol, and lived modestly. His strong resolve to follow through with these seemingly small practices was an early sign of the discipline that would later shape his leadership. Gandhi's life truly began to change when he moved to South Africa in 1893. He had accepted a job offer there as a legal representative, but was soon confronted with the harsh realities of racial discrimination. The turning point came when he was thrown off a train for refusing to leave the first-class section because of his race. This event sparked a deep transformation in Gandhi and ignited his lifelong mission to fight injustice. In South Africa, Gandhi developed what would become one of his most powerful habits: nonviolent resistance, or satyagraha. This principle became the cornerstone of his life and his leadership. However, the habit of nonviolence did not come naturally or easily. It was cultivated over time. He experimented with different forms of protest and civil disobedience, always refining his methods, learning from mistakes, and improving his ability to respond peacefully to aggression. Beyond his political efforts, Gandhi also adopted personal habits of minimalism and self-reliance. He began to simplify his life, wearing simple clothes and living in a small communal environment. He spent hours each day spinning his own cloth, seeing this to reject British goods and promote self-sufficiency. This habit of simplicity reinforced his belief that personal discipline was essential to creating change in the world. Gandhi's success was not the result of grand, momentous decisions, but rather the outcome of small, consistent habits that compounded over time. He built his entire life around certain daily practices that strengthened his resolve, enhanced his self-awareness, and allowed him to lead others effectively. Simplicity and minimalism. Gandhi believed in living with the bare minimum, and his commitment to simplicity was more than just a personal preference. It was a conscious habit that aligned with his broader philosophy of nonviolence and anti-materialism. By stripping his life of unnecessary luxuries, Gandhi was able to focus on what truly mattered, his mission and the people he served. Fasting and self-discipline. Gandhi regularly practiced fasting, a habit that taught him self-control and reinforced his commitment to nonviolence. For him, fasting was a way to purify the mind and body, as well as a method of protest. Through fasting, he demonstrated the power of personal sacrifice and how it could influence larger movements. His habit of fasting also connected him with the suffering of the people, keeping him grounded and empathetic to their struggles. Daily meditation and reflection. Gandhi made time every day for meditation and prayer, a habit that allowed him to cultivate inner peace and mental clarity. This habit of reflection was essential to his ability to remain calm and composed in the face of violence, opposition, and frustration. Through meditation, Gandhi trained his mind to stay focused on his principles, avoiding impulsive reactions and maintaining a steady course toward his goals. Consistent learning and growth. Gandhi was a lifelong learner. He read extensively, studied different religions, and was always open to new ideas. His habit of continuous learning enabled him to integrate various perspectives into his philosophy and leadership style. He believed in the power of knowledge and constantly sought ways to improve himself and his movement. Spiritual and physical practices. Gandhi combined spiritual habits with physical discipline. He often walked long distances as part of his political campaigns, such as the famous Salt March. These physical habits were not only symbols of protest, but also practices that strengthened his body and mind. His daily walks were moments of solitude, reflection, and physical endurance that prepared him for the challenges ahead. By the time Gandhi returned to India to lead the fight for independence, he had honed his habits into a powerful system of living. His daily disciplines, simplicity, fasting, meditation, and nonviolence, enabled him to remain steadfast in the face of immense challenges. Gandhi's leadership was not based on charisma alone. It was rooted in his consistent, disciplined habits that he maintained even during the most turbulent times. Through these habits, Gandhi transformed not only his own life but the lives of millions. His habit of peaceful resistance ultimately led to India's independence in 1947, proving that small, consistent actions can lead to monumental change. Gandhi's story teaches us that habits, no matter how small, are incredibly powerful when cultivated with purpose and discipline. Here are some key takeaways from his life. Start small, stay consistent. Gandhi's success wasn't immediate. He started with small habits, like adopting nonviolence in his personal interactions, and built upon them. Over time, these small habits compounded into larger actions that changed the course of history. Align your habits with your values. Gandhi's habits were deeply aligned with his principles of nonviolence, simplicity, and self-reliance. When your habits reflect your core values, they become easier to maintain because they are in harmony with your larger goals. Patience and persistence. Gandhi's journey toward Indian independence took decades, and there were many moments of failure and setback. But his habits of daily reflection, self-discipline, and non-violent protest kept him on course. His story is a reminder that success often takes time and perseverance. Cultivate inner peace. Gandhi's habit of daily meditation and reflection gave him the strength to face adversity with calmness and resolve. In a world full of distractions and chaos, developing habits that center and ground you, such as mindfulness, prayer, or journaling, can have a profound impact on your ability to handle stress and achieve your goals. Affirmations for building habits of success. I commit to the small, daily habits that align with my values and guide me toward my greater purpose. With each repetition, I strengthen the habits that shape my success and personal growth. I am patient with my progress, trusting that my consistent actions will lead to lasting change. I am in control of my habits, and I create routines that support my physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. Every day, I choose habits that build a strong foundation for my future success. Gandhi's life is a powerful example of how habits shape not only personal success but also the destiny of nations. By cultivating daily disciplines of non-violence, self-reflection, simplicity, and learning, he was able to lead India to independence and inspire movements for social justice around the world. His story reminds us that the habits we choose today are the building blocks of our future, and through small, consistent actions, we can achieve greatness. Thank you for listening to The Psychology of Habit. We hope this insight into how small, consistent actions shape our lives inspires you to start building habits that align with your highest goals. Every step you take brings you closer to success and transformation. If you found value in this content, please like this video, share it with those who need to hear it, and subscribe to the Hotspike channel. We're dedicated to providing life-changing content that will help you take a quantum leap in your personal growth, success, and overall well-being. Your journey to a new life starts with the habits you cultivate today, and we are here to support you every step of the way. Let's spread the word. Together, we can change lives.